Hey everybody, this is where we ended the last video, where we have this Markowitz bullet, the efficient frontier, if you will. So in this video, what I'm going to do is, instead of directly finding those efficient portfolios, namely these weights of these assets, each dot here representing those weights here, obviously, what I will do is I will run a simulation, just creating random weights here, and see if I can discover that very same frontier using a similar approach. So the way we will do it will be the following. So I will scroll down. So far, we already created 32 portfolios. Now I will run a simulation starting from 33 all the way down to 1000. I'm going to basically add up a couple portfolios. So in addition, an additional 968 dots onto this picture, and you will see what the result will look like. So for that, first, let me just go ahead and I carried that formula. The sum of these three numbers should add up to 1. In fact, what I will do is I will take things one step further, and by definition, I will make the weight of asset 3 as 1 minus the weight of asset 1 minus the weight of asset 2, and I will scroll it all the way down. I will drag it all the way down. So this way, as soon as I randomly choose asset 1 and asset 2, asset 3 will automatically upgrade so that the sum of these three will automatically would be 1. So for instance, if I put a 0.5 here, another 0.5 here, then this one ends up being a 0, and this one, the sum is automatically a 1. I think that makes sense. Or for instance, if this one is a 0.25, 35, let's say, and this one is 0.50, so that one automatically. So the asset 3 is a residual weight here. The formula is just 1 minus whatever is the sum of these two. That makes sense. All right, next is we need to make sure we carry these formulas down below. So first, let's say return as usual, and standard deviation. And I'll just be lazy and I'll just carry those two formulas over here by just copying first, Control C, and then instead of pasting it right away, I'm going to paste just the formulas. There you go. So right now, if I go inside F2, you will see that it is reflecting on this row, 52nd row here. These were fixed, that's good, and the same thing for the other one, 52nd row entries here, and the rest is just fixed. All right, so what's next? And obviously I need to double click here all the way down below. If it doesn't double click like mine, you can just scroll it all the way down below. Whew. All right, so right now it's empty, so that's why it says, and these values are not accurate anyways. So how does simulation works? There's a couple of different ways you can run a simulation on Excel. One is to use directly a formula known as the norm formula. Sorry for that, rand formula, random. It's a random number generator. So if you just start typing this and press enter, it will randomly generate a number between 0 and 1. I can randomly generate a number between 0 and 1, put it here, randomly generate a number between 0 and 1 and put it there for asset 2. And once I have these two numbers randomly generated between 0 and 1, then asset 3, this number will pop out automatically. The thing is, so for instance, let me just give you an example. Let me just scroll down a little bit. So from time to time, this will create a negative value for asset 3, because when the sum of these two adds up to more than 1, then it will be short selling asset 3. But because by definition these numbers are always between 0 and 1, we will never end up short selling these two. So in order to remedy for this situation, what we can do is we can I can do a little bit modification actually. So because I'm generating roughly 1000 minus 32, 968 numbers. So when I take a third of that, that would be what? 320 something, 322. So what I can do is I can, starting at 350, I can change the formula. This is roughly half way through the calculation. So 350 something. Why not? Let's say 360. So at 360, I will just delete all this, the remaining section, and I'm going to put a 1 here, and the rest will be the difference, right? So sorry, so not 1 here. Here this one will be 1 minus this number minus that number. Oops, that number. There you go. So if I were to choose some random numbers here between 0 and 1, and choose a random number here between 0 and 1, there you go. So what this will do is, if I just drag it, so I don't want to drag it all the way down, so I'll try to be smart. So I will drag it all the way to say around 680, something like that. So all the way to 680. Oh, there you go. We're already there. Wow, we just passed it already. So roughly a third of the formula. Okay, 680 is right here. And now I will go ahead and make one more change. Here this will be 1 minus this number minus this weight. All right, and here as usual we will put the randomized values for this one, and then this one equals randomized values here. Perfect. Now I can just go ahead and drag these down. I can double click. Perfect. The only thing missing is the top. I forgot to do the top, so let's just finish the top as well. Okay, there we go. We just did halfway through, so let's just keep dragging it all the way till actually I can start dragging from here all the way to, I think it was like 300 something. Okay, there we go. We passed it. Okay, here we go. Do you guys see how I randomly generated numbers in such a way that sometimes there might be short selling of asset 3 or short selling of asset 1 or sometimes short selling of asset 2. So it's kind of a balanced set. Now with that said, we can go ahead, and I just realized that sometimes I get negative returns, which is kind of awkward. Anyhow, let's scroll all the way up. We'll do the same thing. I'm just going to Control C and oops, and I'm going to attach that data set right below. I entered the value, and so we can do it right here. What I will do is I will Control V here, just the values, obviously, like that. And I'm going to select the return because this is the y-axis. I'm Control X and then press Enter. I'm making sure it's on the other side. So these are simulation values. Let me write here simulation. All right, so next step is to construct, to update our picture. Excel found a problem with one or more formula reference in this worksheet. Please check that cell references, range names, and so on are correct. Oh gosh. Oh boy. Okay, so how did I mess up this one? I don't know. What has happened over there? Let's see if there's any discrepant looking stuff in here. I don't see any. Oh well. I'm just checking the returns and the risks if there is any which is like outside the range of interest. In case just I messed up the formulas. I don't think I did, to be honest. Yeah, I don't see any discrepant looking data. Yeah, it's very hard. Once you messed up, it's better to just go and start all over again because, yeah. All right, so it seems everything looks good, and besides, they add up to 1. So all these look 1. I think it's good so far. So now let me go all the way up to the top. I don't know why this thing happened over here. Let me just format the axis as usual, and I don't want the maximum to be 1.22. I want it to be 22%. There you go, as it should be. All right, even 22% is too high. Or maybe we can go a little bit up. So this one should be more like 20% maybe. Let's just reduce it to 20% here. And what I will do next is just to also make some revision to the y-axis. The y-axis also should start, 20% is probably too little. Let's do it 24%. Does it? Yeah, so far so good. So we still have the 3 dots, the original assets. This is the efficient frontier. Now I will add all these simulated values into the picture. How do I do that? So you just select the area. So you go to design and you want to select the data set. I want to add a new data set. Oh, there's already one here. Okay, let me just delete that, remove. All right, there you go. And now let's add a new one. Okay, so this is the way it should look like originally, right? So what I will here do is add a new set. And so the series name, I will call it simulation. The X values, if I scroll down, they start from here all the way down below, and the y values are starting, well, I can start from the bottom, I guess, the second column basically, except I'm not including the column headers. And press OK, and that's pretty much it. And then when I press OK, let's see how the picture have changed. Oh my goodness, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. It is. Okay, so quite a feat, I guess. So now you guys are saying, hey, what just happened here? Do you guys see the blue dots? This was the efficient frontier. These are the best portfolios. Given a return, this is the lowest that we can reduce the risk. Risk is becoming lower and lower on the left border. So this left border is the efficient frontier. Any other dot here in this picture can be obtained by a certain mixture. For instance, this dot over here represents when I move over there, it shows you the expected return and the standard deviation. The standard deviation for that dot is 7.16% versus the expected return is 9.97%. But is it efficient? No. We can do better by just keeping the return the same level at 9 points, whatever it is. But we can reduce risk significantly. The horizontal axis is the risk. So among all these potential portfolios, the one which we decided using solver function, the ones that are useful for us is this one. But this all, what is the benefit of what we did here? The benefit was that we suddenly realized that using simulations without using solver, we can basically create the area of the bullet, the Markowitz bullet, efficient front, and then using that bullet we can identify the efficient frontier as a result. So I just wanted to let you guys see this simulation result as well. Hope this was useful, and I guess I will be looking forward to see you guys in our next lecture.